the mindset of extremism. And here, this includes education, it includes the mosques, it includes the information and media, it includes a public dialogue, it includes rehabilitation programs, it includes documentaries, it includes establishing a center, a global center for combating extremism. It includes working with other countries to identify where these extremists, how this extremist mindset emerges and how one can best combat it. And I believe we have one of the top programs in the world for doing so, and we have provided assistance to many countries in this area. And we believe that unless you deal with terrorism in a comprehensive way, the men, the money, and the mindset, and be firm about it, we will not succeed against the scourge. It has to be an international effort. We cannot have any loose wheels. Everybody has to pull their weight if we want to succeed. What the international community can do is very simple. Most of the international community is doing it. Have laws that criminalize terrorism and extremism, that criminalize terror financing, actually implement those laws by charging people and jailing them and bringing them to justice. Work better on exchange of information. In Saudi Arabia, to promote this, we hosted an international counterterrorism conference in Riyadh in 2005. More than 50 countries participated at the level of security professionals. And one of the recommendations was the establishment of an international center to counter terrorism that under the umbrella of the United Nations that the Kingdom funded with $110 million. The idea is that if all countries work together, we have a better sense of where money goes, we have a better sense of where people go, and we have a better sense and capability of stopping it. So we have been on the forefront because we have been one of the main targets, if not the main target, of the terrorists. Their objective is to control Mecca and Medina, Islam's two holiest places, so they can have a megaphone with which to address 1.5 billion people. We know this, and that's why we're fighting as hard as we can and urging people to fight as hard as we can to end this scourge. We can only have a policy of zero tolerance. We cannot have a country like Qatar that is an ally militarily and in the GCC and in the Arab League, and that hosts an air base from which planes take off to fight ISIS and ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and at the same time it turns a blind eye to terror financiers who operate openly in Qatar, turns a blind eye to extremists who advocate suicide bombings and advocate young men going to fight in war zones. We cannot have it both ways. And we're not doing this because we want to hurt Qatar. We're doing this to help Qatar because it will help Qatar, it will help us, it will help the region, it will help the world. One of the problems we still have is the sense of tolerance, in particular in Europe, of extremists under the guise of freedom of expression. And I believe that European countries are beginning to realize that some of these radical and extremist people, what they're expressing is hate speech that leads directly to violence. And those policies have to be re-examined. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a lecture.
Well, let me just reinforce the issue of comprehensive approach to terrorism, because it has been an issue that President Sisi has reiterated